uniqueness, because culture has components that are unique. When we enhance it through globalization, because globalization has played a major role in East Africa region. It has played a major role in enhancing communities and developing common markets and unions. Because if you look at the various components in culture, and you say we have different cultures, the countries are different. Kenya, Uganda, Burundi, Tanzania, they all have different cultures. They don't have one culture. So these cultures have various components, and those components are resource platforms. And those resource platforms, when placed on a global market, they become aspects and avenues for wealth creation. If we move forward and look at the other aspects of globalization, globalization is a revolution. It creates a relationship. So if we say we are enhancing culture through globalization, the revolution has to go through trade, direct foreign investments, financial flow, inclusion of the people. Because when you include the people and allow them to be as diverse as they are, the uniqueness is a celebration platform. And that celebration platform is an economic resource. The boundaries of East Africa are a liberation platform of economies. They are a crucial role in information technology, in facilitating direct foreign investment and financial flow among the blocks, all the economic blocks, because all the economic blocks in East Africa have various resources. Cultural diversity makes the area a marketplace that allows innovation, creativity, integration of technology as a means towards economic development. This is done through creative business modeling, innovation, and telling the East African story. East Africa has a story to tell. Maybe we can say that is the greatest challenge we have. Because what is a brand? If we look at a global perspective and say, let us take maybe Nike, is a brand. But when you look at Nike, it's an African from East Africa running and selling the shoe. So then let's go back to our diversity, our culture, that is a rich resource that can tell our African story, our East African story as a resource platform. Our East African story is a resource platform because through capacity development, intellectual cooperation that allows learning, creative development, and online space platforms. Yes, we are amidst COVID-19, but amidst the COVID-19, what structures can we create? What online platforms, what connectivities can we create? Because if we look at the investment and growth avenues, climate change and agricultural initiatives, art and talent and creativity. Practical example, if we can look at a country like Burundi and rebrand it through its cultural avenues and cultural diversity, what a great economic resource that can be. Capacity enhancement, building the capacities of the youth to see the global perspective, the bigger picture out of who they are. If you look at the Burundi dramas and you create a bigger perspective out of who they are, that's a resource and an economic platform. If you look at community initiatives and social enterprises, the social enterprises still have a lot of things that need to be tapped into. Infrastructure and transportation. The East Africa community is building infrastructure every day and continuing to build it that will enhance economic development, making it easy for East Africa to become the next avenue for your economic investment. Cottage industries and mid-level industries. Being in Burundi has given me an avenue to eat fresh fruit fresh natural fruits that are a platform for cottage and mid-level industries. If we can broaden our mind, because globalization is what? Broadening our perspective, breaking the boundaries, breaking the norms. Culture is, yes, the way we behave and the way we live and our lifestyle. But can we integrate the good things that are in our culture and create them as global avenues for economic development? Tourism and natural resources, technology and real estate. Real estate remains a rich avenue for economic development. If we move forward and continue on the challenges that are available, the East Africa is yet to develop modern institutions needed for market integration, coupled with long degree of financial debt. We have so much debt, but we have so much resources. Why do we have that? It's because our appetites have never been curbed. Because we have never looked at ourselves as a resource. So if we look at the East Africa as a resource and not look out, we will be able to enhance what we have and use it for growth platforms and economic development. I know you have listened to me ranting for some time and talking about the East African community and talking about the best things that are in East Africa. But let's look at the challenges. What are the major challenges? We can say one of the major challenges could be culture. Yes? We can say one of the major challenges could be leadership. But when we go to the questions that I want us to ask ourselves this evening, this morning as we listen to this, the questions that I want us to ask ourselves: as humans, we produce culture to make and share means over everything we do. Feel, think, believe in how you do it or whatever. Now, you as a person looking at the East African community, how can you overcome its cultural differences that hinder growth and development? Another question, from your perspective, what are the key challenges that hinder the East African economy? And also, looking at agriculture as a more sustainable component for economic development in East Africa, how can the current agricultural practices become resource platforms for economic development? Those are the questions I want us to ask ourselves. Questions that can help us be able to see the greatness that is in East Africa, to see the avenues that can enhance economic growth, to see the availability of resources that will bring growth and development in this generation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for wanting to learn about East Africa. I trust from whatever angle you are, you will be able to look at East Africa from a different perspective, from a cultural diversity that is a resource for global development and economic growth. Thank you very much.